What is up, Scentsy fans? It's Patricia, and welcome to another week of Tester Tuesday, a spot where I review Scentsy scents with you guys based on your votes from the previous week. You guys vote, you tell me what you want to hear about, and I give you reviews, and hopefully that'll help you decide if a scent's going to work for you or not. Now, I've already filmed this video once, unfortunately, and I didn't have my microphone plugged in, so I'm filming it again. But one of the scents really stole my heart, and it was a super tight race for first. So which scent came out on top? Let's get started and find out. All right, let's talk about our first place scent for the week. It is Winter Pine. This one had 36% of the vote. I think it beat the other scent by just 6 votes. It is a dark green color traditionally, but this has morphed into an army green, and it's medium to medium light on cold sniff intensity. This is a retired scent, and I did a little bit of digging, and I think it came out in 2013, and then it was in the holiday collection for a couple of years, and then I think the last catalog I could find it in was 2016. Sometimes it's hard to go through, but that's what I came up with. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, frolic in a forest of evergreens as fir needles fall among aromatic white cedar and musk with a wintry whisper of citrus. All right, so there's a lot in that scent description, but to me, I want you to think of this scent as 2 parts, and they're almost equal. We have the evergreen, fir needle, and the white cedar. Those are the most prominent notes. I don't really get musk. I don't really get citrus. If there is musk, it's on day 2, and it's more of an earthy, grounded musk. But it definitely is more prominent on the white cedar, and I would even venture to say that the white cedar is a little bit stronger than the evergreen fir notes. So if you're someone that doesn't love evergreen and you're kind of easing into it, this might be a perfect scent for you because it's more wood and natural versus the evergreen sharpness. So I think that the only other thing I would like to say is this wax is from 2018 because that's the pour date, which I find odd because it was not made in 2018 because I was a consultant back then and this was not in the catalog. But anyway, I have warmed a bar of this before back when it was a nice color, and my memory of it was okay, but it wasn't overly strong. So what I did was I had these 2 full bars plus I had these testers. So I thought I can warm it a few spots, but I only had time to warm it in 2 places. So the first spot I did 2 cubes plus the testers in my TV bonus room upstairs. There's a 40-watt Vino and a 25-watt. It's called Keep Growing. It's an incentive warmer, but it's basically like a white on white porcelain unglazed ceramic. Good performer. So in the TV room, it was between 5 and 6 out of 10. Day 1, it felt like it was more 5 out of 10, and today is day 2. It feels a little bit stronger, but it could be my imagination because my daughter had the room, like the door close to the room, and when I went in, it seemed a little bit stronger. So on day 1, I got about equal parts fir and white cedar, and now on day 2, I'm getting a lot of cedar and maybe that earthy musk that I'm not sure if that's what I'm smelling. So I decided, well, this type of scent is one that I would want to warm in my open layout because that is where I would put an artificial tree, and scents like this are really nice to complement an artificial tree. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite strong enough for my liking. I had it at about 5 out of 10 max for 6 cubes amongst 4 warmers, and I would say it was only about 5 out of 10 for the first couple of hours, and then for the most of the day it was between 3 and 4 out of 10. It was light enough that I almost wanted to just take it out, but then later in the night I burned an evergreen style candle to just kind of boost up the scent in the room. So not strong enough for where I'd want to warm it, but if you wanted to pick this up, if it ever was in a clearance or a flash sale, or I bring back my bar offering and you wanted to vote for it, keep in mind I think medium confined spaces would be best, or smaller spaces. And obviously it's a great scent for this time of year leading into the end of December and maybe even into January. Will this be a scent that I would repurchase or I would want to vote for and bring back my bar? No, it's just not a favorite. In fact, I would say frosted white pine might be along those lines, so I'd rather just stick with that, or even very snowy spruce, a little bit more evergreen with this, but it's kind of along that line for me personally. But if you're someone that really likes less evergreen and more natural cedar, white cedar, then you want to definitely look for winter pine in the future. All right, let's talk about scent number 2 for the week. It is an interesting scent because it is a brick that is a Scentsy Club exclusive brick called Scentsy Is You. And this was given out to the consultants at the Scentsy Family Reunion in 2022 as a bonus gift. This one had 34% of the vote. And it's this dark purple, but it also has sprinkles, which is nice. Scentsy usually doesn't do that, but you can see the blue sprinkles, or blue glitter, I should say. Sometimes I say sprinkles, but I mean glitter. Intensity of the wax, just smelling it here on cold, is about a medium to a medium plus. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about how you get this brick if you want it. If you want this, it has to be through a website order. It cannot be through a Scentsy Club order, but you have to be a Scentsy Club member to access this, because this is a Scentsy Club member exclusive access brick. So what you would do is you go into the website, you would sign into your account, and then in that same area that it has all the options of your account, your club, etc., you'll see Scentsy Club exclusives, and this will be there. And it is $32 in Canada or $24 in the US. You cannot put this on a workstation party if you're a consultant. You cannot get this as a free or half price item. You can only buy it on the website with an order if you happen to be a Scentsy Club member. I'm not really sure why they are doing it that way, but that is the way they are doing it. Now, Scentsy has put this as a floral. I really don't think it's a floral. I think it's more of a fruity, fresh or a fruity floral. So let's read the scent description. There is a lot to the scent description, but I'm going to do the little faster part at the bottom. It says, this floral scent is a celebration of Scentsy spirit, featuring bright apricot, melon, and a field of wildflowers. All right, so when I first put this in the warmer, right away I knew that I really liked it. It threw quickly, and it was dense and saturated, so you could smell it very easily. It's not one of those airy scents that you have a trouble picking up. You can definitely smell this. Now, the first thing I thought was it's a fruity scent with a freshness, not quite a green grass, but something along that green, fresh, sweet, kind of life, meadowy life moment. And then I thought, you know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me a little bit, half of it kind of reminds me of Farmer's Market. And then also as I warmed it, that half of it that is probably the wildflowers also reminded me of Ruby Nectarine. Now, Ruby Nectarine, what I get from that is you're walking through the fruit section of the grocery store and you smell all the fruits and the aromatic like gases that are coming off, but like the good sweet gases, and they smell really nice, but you're also smelling the stems and the greeneries and the little, leaves that are on the apples and all that stuff. So it's a really, really pleasant smell to me. But this doesn't really smell exactly like Ruby Nectarine because the fruit part is different. It's almost like you're in a different section than I think it was apricot and, or peach and, what was in that one? Peach and apples. Here, you happen to be in the apricot melon section. And when I was warming it and I didn't know the fruits, I was racking my brain. Is it a berry? I don't know. It's purple. And then I'm like, what is the fruit? And I'm like, it's pleasant. I know I like it. And then when I read this description, I was like, oh, apricot and melon. I can kind of see that now that I know what it is. And melon, I'm not sure what melon it is. It might be a medley of melons, but I know I like this. This was really good for me. So let's talk about performance. I warmed this in 3 spots. Now, I got off to a late warming this week. So I warmed it here in my bedroom, and I warmed it in Drew's room, and I warmed it in the entranceway. So what I did was I took my brick and I cut it by weight to be equivalent to cubes from a Scentsy bar. So I usually use 2 cubes here in my bedroom. I cut this a little bit more than halfway, and I use that in my Simple Reminders warmer, which is a unglazed, 25 watt. And strength and throw is between 8 and 8.5 on day 1. And obviously it does start to dissipate, but it did very, very well on day 1. I felt like with every breath, I could smell this. And on day 2, it was probably about 4 out of 10, and that was yesterday. And it definitely was a lot harder to pick up on day 2, but I did really enjoy it. Now in Drew's room, it was also about 8 to 8.5. I used 4 cubes equivalent. And again, on day 2, it is basically at least half the intensity. And in the entranceway, it was about 8 out of 10. And again, we're on day 2 right now. Again, about half the intensity. But it was the kind of stuff that when I walked into the room, I immediately liked it. And I smiled. So is everybody going to like this? I'm not sure. It does have like a sweet fruitiness and maybe a little bit of floral sweetness, but also a nice greenery freshness all amalgamated together into a really nice scent. So I would say this would probably be okay for open concept because it's strong enough on day 1, but I think you might only get 1 day in an open concept. And it's probably better suited for medium-sized spaces, and maybe you can get a couple of days out of it. Now, when you guys were voting for this, it killed me because I kept reading the votes and it was like, Scentsy is you. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Then I remembered, no, they mean Scentsy is you, the brick, not Scentsy is you, Patricia. But sometimes you just got to find humor in things in life. But I just want to say, will I be repurchasing this? All right. If you have been watching my channel recently, you probably know I'm trying really hard to diminish my stash. And you may not know this about me, but as time has progressed, I'm trying to buy less and less at full price. I think I'm still going to buy another one of these. I shouldn't, but I really like it, and I definitely want more. So I will have to order it with a website order before it sells out. All right, let's move to the portion of the video. I'm going to draw some scents, and you guys are going to vote. If you're new, you're going to pick 2 different scents from the 6, and you're going to put your votes down in the YouTube comment section by early Wednesday morning, or on my Instagram by early Wednesday morning, and that will mark your votes for the week. Now, I already did draw out the 6 scents when I filmed the video before, so I have them here. So scent number 1, we are going to revisit some LTOs that we never covered on my channel. I'm sure there's other videos out there, but scent number 1 is going to be Cherries Jubilee. Scent number 2, Disney Dream Big Princess. Scent number 3, Frosted White Pine. Now, scent number 4, I wanted to do Sleigh Ride, but I actually had to give that to my sponsor. So I am going to order another one because I haven't warmed any of that yet. So instead, I'm going to make scent number 4, December Scent of the Month, which I believe is called Meet at the Mistletoe. I don't have that yet. It's supposed to come on Monday. I filmed this on Sunday. It's supposed to come Monday. So hopefully it comes in time. So scent number 5 is an older scent, and it is from the Scentsy Man category, and it is called Titanium. And I have never warmed this before, and it's a very pretty silver color wax. And from the current catalog, a white wax, probably more of a niche type of scent, but we'll put it up for voting because this is what I drew. It is Newborn Nursery. So thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. I hope you have a great day in your neck of the woods. Don't forget to vote, and I'll see you guys in the next video.